Jacob, this podcast has gone to the moon. We are the elite. Oh, yeah. We're the elite of the elite, and that's why we wear Elite Sports, the only sporting brand company that supports Texas State athletes the way that they deserve to be respected. If you want to support the Bobcats and this podcast, shop at Elite Sports. The best athletes at Texas State are sponsored by Elite Sports. The best podcast is also.
Use code SQUARE at checkout for 10% off. One of the best college apparel companies in the country, Home Field. If you got A&M fans, if you got Longhorn fans, if you got begrudgingly probably in your life that you want to give a nice gift for, shop Home Field. Use code SQUARE at checkout, 10% off.
Jacob, when I wear Home Field apparel, I feel like I have a home field advantage.
Do you? Do you actually have one?
100%. I have a golden gopher shirt. Looks great on me. Girls are all over me being like, hey, do chicks really dig the long ball? I go, yeah, they do. 1957 World Series champs, Golden Gophers. I don't know if you saw this, Jacob. The Vikings lost their starting quarterback already.
You live in hell.
I do. I can't. I was going through it in my head, like the best moments of my lifetime as a Vikings fan. We had the game like a couple years ago, or last year we had the game against the Bills. The year before that, we had the game against the Colts. We had the Minneapolis Miracle, but that's about it. And this is the highest pick we've used. It's just pain, bro. It's been like
Kellen
27 years.
You weren't a Kellen Mond guy?
I had the Kellen Mond fiasco. It's hell. It sucks. I'm not happy.
That's terrible. I would say I'm in a better position, but I'm not.
Barely.
I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. You know what? The ultimate irony in all of this is that my college football team is saved by a former Philadelphia Eagle, GJ Kinne. And it's something I think about all the time. And it's terrible.
Speaking of GJ Kinne, that's who I had on the show today. Jacob, this is back-to-back incredible gets for our Booker. Jacob wears a lot of hats on the show. Producer,
the tree on the way.
Booker as well. He's an incredible guest getter. So I'm very proud of you for getting GJ Kinne, the head coach of the Texas State Bobcats.
The Tetris of all this kind of worked out really well. If you guys remember, like 4 or 5 weeks ago at this point, we tried to do episode 100 with Charles Austin, and that just did not go our way. And then last week was the Charles Austin week. So I talk about it in our newsletter. Hit subscribe in the link in our bio. But kind of about the back and forth of all that, and like how sometimes you don't get to choose your stories. And then you and I were kind of planning out the rest of August leading up until week 1, August 31st, Lamar at Texas State. And we were trying to iron out a few more guests, and then it just kind of all fell into place. So I'm really excited because normally things do not happen like that for me on this show. Yeah, super excited to get to talk to GJ. Obviously, we hear from him every week in fall camp, and like me, I'll get to go and talk to him again this weekend on Saturday. But yeah, always really interesting to pick that dude's brain. He's got a ton going on, which is crazy because last year at this time he had even more going on. So this is like life slowed down for him. Not really though, because he's still doing so much.
He added a kid. Like, I don't know, you can say life slowed down when you add a kid to the equation.
Add a kid. Yeah, my summer preseason MVP was Summer Kinne because the whole thing of them like inducing labor before the Sun Belt Media Day. So that full write-up's on DCTF. You could check that out. I'm excited to keep writing about the Bobcats. Week 1, loading. Here's GJ Kinne.
Tired of winning the tailgate, but losing the games? We can't help that. But we can tell you what the hell is up with each team and what's going on across sunny San Marcos. Texas State fans, get on your feet. You're listening to Squarin Around with Jacob Rodriguez and Andrew Zimmel.
Coach, we are like 18 days away from kickoff, man. So what's this summer been like for you? This is like your second year, right, with the team?
Yeah, exactly right. No, it's been great. Good summer. Obviously, had my third kid over the summer. I got 3 under 5 right now. practice number 9 completed today, so I've been grinding. No time for a haircut, beard trim, nothing. We're just straight grind mode. I don't even know what day it is. You can tell Saturday, Sunday. I don't know what day it is, but we're rolling right here.
So we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. We saw a photo of you, and I was like, I don't think GJ Kinne's ever been more tired than he is right now. And is that confirmed? Never been more tired?
I'm really not tired. Just I'm just grinding. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of it. I woke up at 3:30 this morning and got a workout in already. I mean, I'm feeling good. Just a couple pre-workouts. Probably the most caffeine I've ever consumed, though. That's safe to say.
So
shout out the On the Grind right now. I'm going to give a plug to On the Grind. Coffee and every morning right there. The Hawaiian, a medium iced coffee. Go get your On the Grind.
There you go, sponsored right here.
Yeah, NIL deal coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon. All right, so a year ago at this time, we were talking about going into year one. What's the biggest thing you've learned from last August to this August?
I just know the guys better. Their personalities and they know us better. Year 2 with Coach Hughes. Obviously, always this day and age in college football, you're gonna have new players and new guys showing up and all that kind of stuff. But just know the guys better.
Okay, Jacob.
Sorry, Zim. But all last year, Coach, it felt like everybody was like, Coach Kinne, how are you guys gonna do it? Coach Kinne, how are you guys gonna do this? How is everything gonna measure up to the crazy season you guys had at UIW? What has this year been like now? After proving so much last year, kind of flipping Texas State on its head, really, in a lot of ways.
I think I can't really control that or worry about that. I think it's just more making sure the team's ready and making sure the coaches are doing everything we can do to put these guys in the right position. So, I think it's awesome. All the buzz around Texas State and the momentum we got right now. I mean, that's really cool. And that's why you do it. And that's really fun for me and getting to see the Texas State fans and alumni and donors and all that. I mean, that's awesome. This place is really excited about Texas State football right now, and rightfully so. So, but really our focus and our preparation and all that hasn't changed, and we're just taking it day by day and had a really good practice out there on the new turf for the first time.
I was going to ask about that. What's the new turf like?
Man, it was nice. It was really nice. The grass, was good, and we kind of made the most of it. And the grounds crew people and everyone did a really good job of keeping it, I guess, sharp for us and all that. But at the same time, it was really nice to get back on the turf. Just kind of has a different feel, we just had a cleaner practice. And sometimes out in the grass, you couldn't even see where the out of bounds is sometimes. You're just like, all right, hope Joey's down there somewhere. Here we go. It was nice to get back on the turf, and it's really nice. It really is. It's got a great look to it. It feels great. They have the little green beads down for the cooling. I mean, it's really nice.
Could you tell a difference with the cooling?
Yeah, it was a little cooler today anyways, but yeah, you could definitely fit. Now we gotta work the field in, just like anything. You gotta, practice on it and get used to it and all that. But I've been on new turfs before where it was real slippery, didn't have that real slippery feel to it. So it was they did a good job.
Well, let's get into the rat poison, because I got 2 texts last night, Coach. One of them was from a college football national writer. One of them was from a Sunbelt writer. Both of them were talking about a 12-0 Texas State team. I'm not going out there. I'm not saying that, but we got to do 1 week at a time. But what has it been like with expectations? Because UIW had expectations. You've had expectations throughout your career as a player and a coach. But these expectations feel like they've never been higher for Texas State.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said earlier, it's just part of it. It's part of the plan. Year 1 was year 1. Now we're in year 2, and I feel really good about where we're at. But at the same time, you got to go out there and do it. And I got to hold these guys to a really high standard. And we've had some practices in fall camp that are 8-5 practices, and I said that's not the goal here anymore, right? Going to a bowl is great, but we got our sights on bigger things. So I think you gotta do that. hey, we're just going to win 8 games. We're going to win. No, you're trying to win them all. So now things got to go your way for that to happen. But, I like where we're at. And I like the players we got. I think the coaching staff's doing a great job. So, but at the same time, you got to take it one game at a time. We got Lamar coming here into our house, so we got to go out there and take it one game at a time.
I know we're in a different stratosphere, it feels like, because I'll get on to college football and I'll of course play as the Bobcats, and somebody else.
He's talking about the football video game, coach.
Yeah, NCAA 25, of course. But I'll get online and I'll play against some guy using Alabama or Georgia, and they'll be like, actually, Texas State's one of the best playbooks in the game. And so there's these random guys on the internet, talking about the Bobcats.
No, it's fun, and that's, man, that's fun for me. It really is. And I think it's great for the university, and man, it's a great time to be a Bobcat. But at the same time, we'll play great games here pretty soon, and I'm sure we'll do something, make a bad call or do something, But right now, everyone loves the Bobcats, so we're gonna take it while we can.
I wanted to add on to that because with everybody playing NCAA, Ish Mahdi has turned out to be probably the underrated superstar of that game. That there's not a single person I've talked to who has played with the Bobcats who hasn't come to me been like, is Mahdi really that good? And I have to tell him hey, if Coach Kinne uses him the right way, he could be. So has that been cool to see some of the players get that recognition from guys who maybe didn't watch Texas State last year, play the video game for the first time and realize how up-tempo the offense is?
No, it's really fun. It really is. And I'm super excited for our guys and our players to be able to experience that. And that's just going to be able to continue to grow their brand, on a national level. And just really excited for guys like Ish and Joey and those guys like that to be able to continue to do that, because it really is a cool thing. So I'm excited that the EA Sports and the players and everybody got it kind of figured out.
I got another one for you too. Bo Sparks. That guy is ridiculous in the game. I think I won receiver of the year with him. Is he that fast in real life?
He is really fast. He is really fast. I think him and Drew Donnelly are probably the. We'll see. I don't want to start in the fighting in the locker room, but I think him and Drew Donnelly, they're right there for the fastest on the team. So
I thought they nerfed Drew in the game. I was like, what the heck? I know he's faster than this in real life.
No, yeah, Drew is really fast. Drew is extremely fast, and Bo is really fast as well.
Yeah, if you go back a year ago, that was the main, one of the main storylines in fall camp is who was faster, and I guess Drew ended up winning. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd like was in there too.
A 4x1 team. Who's on the 4x1 team? I think Drew, Chris Mills for sure, Bo Sparks. And then we got some real competition there. We got some real guys. You got Cole Wilson is really fast. Chris Don is really fast. Jordan Polk, new guy, is really fast. Trying to think any of those other corners. We got a couple other guys that can really run. I might be missing somebody. Langston Anderson is pretty fast. So we'd have some real competition. Ish Mahdi, obviously. I mean, we got some competition for that fourth, but I feel pretty confident in those. Drew, Bo, Chris Mills. Those three are really fast.
We'll have to take the temperature here in a couple of weeks and see who was that fourth guy, who got the chance to be the fourth guy on the 4x1.
No, Josh Eaton's another one. Josh Eaton can run, so we'll see.
All right. Well, you play quarterback whisperer on TV too, Coach. So what has it been like to have the Sunbelt Player of the Year, Jordan McLeod, a full offseason with a quarterback, getting to teach him the offense, getting to maybe learn some things from him? What's that been like?
It's been great. Jordan's handled everything really well, and I think we really challenged that whole quarterback room. Last couple of days they've been playing really well, but for us to go where we want to go, they're gonna have to play at a high level and play and perform, and they know that. So just continuing to challenge those guys and not be satisfied for maybe what they've done previously or anything like that, or what they've done at the previous practice, and to continue to raise that standard. And they've done that. They've answered the call and probably had Jordan probably had his best practice of the year today, and he's really accurate. I think that's something that really stands out to me is his accuracy, and he's he's lethal in the red zone. I mean, he really is. When he gets down there in the red zone and those fade balls and the corners and the inside fades from the slot and those back end line dig throws, like, man, he's an assassin down there. He really is. So I'm excited to kind of see that, continue to play out. Because we could have been better in the red zone. We finished better, but we started a little slow in the red zone a year ago. So I'm excited to kind of see his game continue to flourish in that area.
For 8 months, I've been having a fight with people about the word mobility. Would you call Jordan a mobile quarterback?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he can move around enough. Now he's not gonna,
he's no GJ.
Go out. Who?
He's no GJ.
No. But no, I shouldn't say that. He can run now. He really can. He surprised me a little bit a couple of times this fall camp as far as taking off and running, and he's sneaky athletic. That's a good word for him. He's very sneaky athletic. He can throw really well in the run. He's got some moves. He's definitely a threat with his legs, which is good to see. I think it just helps everybody.
So he's listed 6 foot. I don't believe it. Is he actually 6 foot?
Yeah, he's 6 foot. Yeah, he's 6 foot.
Is he 6 foot, Coach?
Yeah, he's 6 foot. Yeah. I mean, he's not like 6'4" or anything, but yeah, he's 6 foot.
Okay.
Well, I mean, what do you think he is?
I think he's 5'11" and a quarter.
I mean, what's the difference?
An inch. 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah. Well, he's 6 foot, I think. I don't know.
Honestly, Coach, you could sell me anything, Coach. I would believe it.
Well, yeah. I was listed at 6'2", but I'm 6'1" and an 8.
See,
and an 8.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. We round up on the rosters. That's all I'm saying. Nobody who's 6 foot is actually 6 foot. Everybody 6 foot's either 6'1" or they're 5'11" parading as 6 foot. So that's my take.
Yeah. Are we NFL? 6 foot? Are we?
I'm 5'9" in boots.
Are we CFL 6 foot? I mean, what are we?
Well, that's the thing too. You start getting these Texas State players in these boots, could be a whole different story. All of a sudden, everybody's a couple inches taller.
Now you're 6'2".
Yeah.
Now you're 6'2". No. Or you get into your cleats and you're huge again. Dude.
Exactly. Yeah, we play in our cleats. Why do we measure with no shoes on? You play in your cleats, so why do they care?
Spoken like somebody under 6 foot. That's all I'm gonna say.
For quarterbacks too. Why do we measure the top of their heads of quarterbacks? Who cares how tall their foreheads is? Let's measure their eyes. That's what we're trying to see. How let's measure to their eyes.
That's not a bad take. I like that. Where's my small four-headed quarterbacks? That's what I'm looking for.
Go.
We had Peyton with the huge head. Where's my tiny-headed quarterbacks?
That's going to become. That's like the new ankle thing. That's what all the scouts are going to be looking for. Like, what is the difference between his forehead and his eyebrows?
There you go.
Could be dangerous.
Everything matters unless it's 6 foot to 5'11" and a quarter. That doesn't matter.
No.
What's the running back room look like? It feels like, again, from a fan's perspective, it feels like the running back room's never been deeper. You have a lot of opportunities. You have a full stable. Everybody seems healthy. Or was that pretty right? Feel safe saying that? Everybody's healthy. You don't want to jinx anything. Full stable.
Yeah, for the most part, you're never all the way healthy, after you start camp. But for the most part, pretty healthy. Obviously, Ishmael is unbelievable. He's looking even better than he did a year before. He's bigger. Stronger, faster, kind of year 2 in the system. He's been playing at a really high level. And then you got a host of other guys that are all competing right now. And it's a healthy competition. And we got a bunch of different skill sets in that room, which is good to see. So I'm really excited about those guys. And a guy like Lincoln Perry's been around here for a little bit, obviously got hurt a year ago, and really excited where he's at. He's looking really healthy and really good. And so that's been awesome to see. Just, one for the kid, he's an unbelievable player, but he's a great person as well. And you just really like to see him continue to have success. And then you got the UTEP crew. You got DeAndre and Torrance Burgess, 2 guys that completely different skill sets, but both great kids and playing at a high level. Jalen Jenkins, that guy, might be him and Ish are the most explosive guys in the room. So we got a couple of really good running backs, and it'll be good to see. And because you got to have a bunch of running backs in college football, you really do. So I thought that we missed that, a year ago. So we'll continue to challenge those guys, and those guys will compete. But I feel good about that room, and kind of excited to see kind of how Coach Neely uses them.
It feels like a more balanced offense too, coming in with an offense that has a ton of weapons, that also has a running back room that's, again, pretty healthy.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a year ago, we led the Sun Belt in rushing, so we're always going to run the ball.
Yeah.
I think that's something that people, you know, we have our wide splits and we're, throwing the ball down the field, but we're a run play action team, and the run sets up the pass, and I like where we're at. We got to continue to stay healthy, though.
I liked how last year, I think the thing that impressed me the most about Ish was that when he was battling through, some of those games where he was banged up, like the production really did not fall off. He was like, "Give me the rock still, let's go."
Yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. No, Ish he's a warrior, and he's a competitor, and he's tough. And I thought the same thing last year. Especially when as a running back, when the injury that he had, it would have been easy for him to kind of shy away from contact, but he wrapped that thing up and got back at it. And that was the stretch too. You're talking the Troy game, the Lafayette game. I mean, he was taking some hits and continued to roll out there. So that was good to see.
Media days, coach, you talked about wanting to clean up like some of the bigger things that you noticed kind of like last year. You didn't really have the time to kind of go back and like, oh, okay, this is like an area of focus like we really need to work on this time next year. Is there any game that really like sticks out to you that was like, okay, that was just all us, like completely? Like, what do you think?
I mean, there's probably a couple. I think just like ball security, like, if you're talking about winning a championship and the expectations that we have this year, like we can't turn the ball over on offense like we did a year ago, and win. Like, you can be as good as you want to be, and we were really good last year on offense. We really were. We were balanced. We had great production and numbers and all that, but to win the championships and to win on the road and things like that, we got to limit the turnovers, and that's been a point of emphasis. So, and hopefully we can continue. We've done a lot better job, I think, in the spring and fall camp of that.
I was going to say Cole Wilson and Joey Hobart both, I think, surprised some people in the Sun Belt, guys that probably weren't circled on the roster before the season that really had huge impacts, huge games in the Sun Belt. Do you have anybody like that on the roster this year that under the radar, somebody that maybe somebody's not paying attention to, but in practice you're like, okay, I know that in this situation, this guy is going to like show up. This guy's going to have a big game.
I'll keep it in the receiver room just because you named two receivers. Jaden Williams and Chris Don. Both of those guys have had really good springs and really good fall camps. So really excited about those guys, kind of where they're at. And then, Drew Donnelly, Bo Sparks. Bo Sparks has had a really, really good, same thing, spring and fall. I think in the spring he was kind of figuring things out, kind of the tempo and all those things. It was different than where he's at previously. In this fall camp, man, he's looked really good, like the guy that they're using on the video game. I mean, he's really fast. He's really tough. Everything he does is 100 miles an hour, and great kid. So I would say that those guys, Chris, Jaden, Bo Sparks, Drew Donnelly, all those guys have really stepped their game up.
I'm telling you, man, that guy is ridiculous in the game. There's specifically one play that you get your first year, because things change obviously based on personnel, but it's like a deep cross in the middle. It's just like cracked play that I kept using to hit Bo Sparks in the middle for every single time. I think I only used it one entire game. It was really fun.
That's good. That's good. I mean, that's what you're like Mike Leach. Just call like 3 plays and go out there and execute them at a high level, and let's go.
Well, the funny part is, like, when you start playing, like, I'm in a league with Craven, Ish, and a few of the other like DCTF riders, and those guys obviously know football very well. Yeah. I've just been a guy that plays 2K and NCAA my whole career, so yeah. I just like dumb things like that, or I'll like fake punt like 1st and 10, like, and that's like get a completion, and they just don't get it. I'm like, you
gotta be different. You gotta be different.
You gotta be a crazy offensive play style.
I like it.
You want to flip over and talk defense? Sure. Okay, I mean, we focus primarily on offense here. What are we looking like? How's it going? How's the defense looking with what we have?
Yeah, defense is looking really good. The secondary, especially, is looking really good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, that was a point of emphasis for you. The secondary. I want to make sure that was good. Secondary's looking good. Coach McCoyle, Dexter, DC is playing really well. Coaching really well, and kind of has those guys playing at a high level. So really, really like what he's doing. We're doing some different things defensively that I think are going to help us. Adding some wrinkles and some things that that I'm accustomed to, and things that he's done in the past, and so that's been good to see. But I think we're just really deep. D-line and secondary, both of those positions were really deep, and linebacker too. We got a lot of depth at linebacker and a lot of really good players that are competing. I think that's probably the biggest thing on defense right now is so many guys are playing and so many guys are getting reps, and which is awesome to see. We got to continue, these next couple of weeks to build that chemistry on who's in there together, and the communication and all those things, because we do have a number of guys that can play, and so that's been good to see.
You talk about that relationship, Coach. The you and Coach Dex goes all the way back to Tulsa. So. Yeah.
So I was at Tulsa when Dex came in as a young freshman, 6'5", 160 pounds, and but he was just one of those guys that played as a true freshman, because of his intelligence and his football savvy and the competitor that he was, and he was a really good player. And he's a really good coach as well. He builds great relationships with his players, but man, he coaches those guys really hard and holds them to a really high standard. And he's played at the highest level, and so I'm excited to kind of see what the defense looks under his leadership.
Last year, it felt like the kryptonite was mobile quarterbacks for the defense. That when a guy was able to get out and move around, that's when the secondary struggled. That's when couldn't get any pressure. Is that a point of emphasis this offseason?
Yeah, I think that's college football in general. One, it's hard to play defense in college football, and then two, you get a guy back there that can run around a little bit. It's tough. It's tough. You sit back and play a shell coverage, cover two every play. They're going to run, for 1,000 yards. You come up and pressure them and play man, and you're susceptible to the pass and triple option football and guys running around and throwing it down the field on you. So it's college football, and defense is tough. That's why all like Coach Graham, who just got the TCU defense analyst job, he was always like, those young coaches, like, you young defensive coaches are idiots. Go to the offense. It's a lot better over there. So shout out Coach Graham.
You flipped the script on everybody in the spring game too by calling yourself a defensive head coach. I think last week, right? You were talking about how much you enjoyed coaching or watching the defensive line guys play.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. I like being in there with the D line. It's a lot of fun. They have a bunch of really big personalities and great kids, and they get after it. And yeah, I say a defensive head coach. I do enjoy being over there with those guys. And I've coached a lot of those guys, whether it's my second year here or previously at UIW. And so I have some really good relationships with those guys. And I really enjoy being over there on the defense side.
I can tell you, nobody's calling me being like, so defensive head coach, GJ Kinne, huh? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh yeah. You want me to spread the propaganda for sure. Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
Well, then we like lead, a certain category in the Sun Belt. We're like, I don't know. Look what we said here.
Do you feel like the Sun Belt has a unique offense? Like, because it feels like we're the last regional conference left almost. Like us and the SEC kind of feel like the only two that are left. Do you feel like there's like a regional identity with the Sun Belt? Like there's one thing that every Sun Belt team does really well? Or like, because like it used to be ground and pound defense.
Yeah,
like I think about Troy, I think about Georgia State, I think about App State. Do we have that still?
I think we just have so many new coaches. We'll kind of see what that looks like. But that's what I would say. Last year, even a year ago, you still get, I think, really good defense. You talk about Troy and James Madison a year ago. Those are two of the best defenses in all of college football last year. I would put both of those top 10 defenses in college football, period. Like Troy and James Madison were really good, like really good. So I would just say that. I think we're a little unique. It's hard to play defense, especially at the G5 level. So, I think we have really good defense at this in the Sun Belt, and I think the offense, we're I think guys we're still going. We're trying to, I don't think there's necessarily an identity. I don't think it's, you got some really good offenses. Coastal was really good there for the triple option and all that. That was really cool. Trying to think who else.
I'm kind of glad they fell off.
Yeah, not for us, but for them.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Coastal is going to come back down to the pack a little bit. I was excited at first. 2020 was fun. 3 more years of it, I'm sick of them. I'm glad that they're back. It's more of like an open conference in the East now.
Yeah, I mean, I think really highly of those guys. I think those guys, same thing. I think their defense, they do a really good job on defense. I think they recruit really well, and I think same thing. It was year 1 for those guys, so a little bit like us, a little bit up and down probably. But I think those guys are going to be good again next year.
Okay.
I don't
like to hear that.
You're doing something right now, Coach, that I don't think I could do, which is coach alongside your brother. What has that been like?
It's been fun. He's so new into the game and the coaching side, but he's doing a couple of things really well. He does exactly what is told of him, and keeps his mouth shut and has a great attitude, and no job's too small, and he's done great so far. So we'll see. He's over there on the defensive side of the ball, which is good.
Keeping with the defensive head coach, Brandon.
Yeah, exactly right.
And it sounds like his boss likes him, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
My brother, I know, would just find a way to annoy me. Even if I was at the height of my career, he would figure it out.
Yeah, no, we don't have that type of that relationship. I'm so much older than him. It's we have a great relationship, but the annoying back and forth, like close in age sibling part, we don't get that. It's always been more of a almost like a mentor relation.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, the most important game on the schedule is UTSA, Coach. Just reminding you again that's the one that we have circled on the calendar.
We got Lamar here in a couple.
I know. But like, you start 1-0, that's fine. But like 1-11, if we beat UTSA, that's what I'm hanging my hat on.
Well, no comment on that. We got Lamar coming up, and they're gonna be good. They're picked kind of middle of the pack of that really good Southland Conference, and I know their head coach does a really good job. They got some really good players. I think they're a couple of years into kind of building their culture and recruiting, and just like when I was at UIW, we went to Nevada and knocked those guys off, and we gotta come ready to go.
Damn, they must hate you in Nevada, bro. They must hate you in Nevada.
First, I can't even say Nevada. They say, I still don't know how they say it, but
Nevada.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is last year they played Nevada. Obviously, Nevada won that game, but can you take a lot from that game film just because the rosters on both sides have changed so much?
Yeah, I say Nevada. I don't know. Do y'all say that? Nevada? Does it matter? I think. Yeah, I say Nevada. And I think they did, like when we played them last year, they did like a thing like Nevada. I say Nevada.
A few days of getting to live with it. Talk about their performance, what it was like to see Malik get out there and play. Yeah. Are we potentially going to see both this week against Nevada? Yeah. I'm sure that depends on if it goes right. But Nevada. I'm sorry. There I go.
Yeah. I don't know. I say Nevada. Maybe that's like a East Texas thing. I don't know.
Yeah, Nevada.
That gave me a whole mind freak too. I was like, wait,
yeah,
I've been saying it weird the entire time too.
I know.
No, they get it wrong. The state that they live in, they don't know what they're saying.
Like
okay, that's so. We've talked to a bunch of other coaches. We talked to Coach Z a couple weeks ago. We've talked to other coaches. NIL in this like area, and then we can kind of wrap it up here. But what has that been like this offseason? Because it is a completely different game now than it was before NIL, where you're constantly having to re-recruit players, you're constantly having to retouch base, and also kind of recruit other teams too. Like, hey, we talked to you 2 years ago. Now you want to come to San Marcos. What's that like? How has it been different for you in year 2, a whole offseason with NIL?
Yeah, man, it's just every year is different, and I feel like with NCAA, every month is different, and the rules and all that. So, but I think we did really really good job of keeping a lot of our top talent in San Marcos, and I think a lot of that a couple of things. I think they really enjoy it here. I think they love the university. I think they love the football program. I think they love their coaches. They love Coach Huth. We won, and that was good. I think for the most part, I think guys just my dealings with it, a little bit is out of respect. They want their respect, and but some of them too, they want just to make sure they're okay and they're living not like a normal college kid. And I think that's they're not normal college kids. They're being asked to do things that aren't normal. So a lot of them have kids. A lot of them have car payments. A lot of them, need to eat more calories than the normal person. So there are some things that they need, and so I think for the most part we're able to address a lot of those needs and get that done with a lot of help, which was great to see. But it's gonna, same thing. December rolls around, we have to do it all over again. So, I will say this though. I think at this level, I mean, we have a lot of really good talent. And I think being able to keep those guys, it wasn't all about NIL, which was good to see. It really wasn't. I mean, it was a big part of it, but the relationships and offensive scheme and defensive scheme still matter to guys, some guys.
We've heard a lot of coaches talk about how like the job is now like twice as hard, that you used to only have to be the CEO of the team. Now you have to be the CEO and like the general manager. Do you wish that job was split in two? Do you wish that you had somebody helping you with just like the general manager side of things, like team building side of things, the NIL side of things, and you can really just focus on football? Or do you like having the job like combined?
No, I like having the job combined for sure. I think that's one of my favorite things, to be honest with you. I really enjoy probably the roster management more than necessarily the NIL part of it. Yeah, I wish I had someone out there just raising all the money and had a salary. I wish I had a salary cap guy. That'd be cool.
Yeah, kissing babies, shaking hands, getting salary cap. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that would be good. But as far as the roster management and evaluations and all that, no, I'm always going to do that. So I really enjoy that part of it.
I think Coach Morris at UNT said it best. So he was like all this NIL stuff, all the off the field stuff just makes you wish you had more days on the football field sometimes. You feel the same way or no?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just part of the game now. So it's kind of hard to say one way or the other. It's part of the game now. So it's like,
yeah,
I mean, it's just part of it.
It is what it is. Tell us one good story from the off season, then we'll let you go.
One good story from the off season. I don't know. I'm pretty boring, to be honest with you.
Come on.
I coach football. I have kids. That's
is this the all-American dad here? What's going on?
I mean, pretty much. Pretty much.
Well,
I'm coaching, recruiting. I mean, NIL. I mean, all of that. That's fun. I mean, I was trying to raise money for our guys and all kinds of stuff. So that's really all I did from the time. I mean, people are like, what'd you do? From the time the bowl game ended, that night I was on the phone, 7 a.m. I was on the phone, and then it really didn't stop. I mean, it slows down a little bit, obviously, when the portal closes and all that, but you're still recruiting and you're still kind of getting things going. So I just don't really have a lot of time for a lot of things.
Good. No time for the BS. That's how you stay locked in. That's what I love to hear from my head coach.
Yeah,
that's great. No golf course.
Not one round of golf.
December 26th, the Bobcats win the bowl game. December 27th, you're calling everybody at like 7 a.m. I thought that was crazy. That was a nuts storyline.
Sure. Some of those guys that night, I had time. Me and my wife had a big, McDonald's meal after the bowl game in our hotel room, and I was talking to a couple of the guys, obviously because our DC was, he was leaving.
Shout out, right?
Exactly. So it's like, hey, I got to talk to these guys and keep recruiting them.
Yeah. I got that push notification as we were driving to one of the bars in Dallas to, hang out with everybody else post bowl game. And I was like, rats, things have already changed for this team. It appears.
Oh yeah. It was the bowl game was great, but it's one of those deals. We're on the bus pulling up to the hotel. We pull into the hotel, and Twitter it just kind of went crazy of the multi-transfer. Hey, you can if you already transferred the old rule, you had to sit out. Now it's, hey, you can transfer as many times as you want. And all our guys are looking around like, I'm like, hey guys, we got a game here in a couple of days here. So
that was pulling up to the hotel. Oh man,
pulling up
that's
to the
before
hotel.
the bowl game. Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
a lot of stuff to manage. Oh my gosh! If you had to tell the fans one thing, Coach, what would you tell them from last year to this year? There's a lot of pressure on this year, obviously, with so much that happened last year. But what's like one thing that you continue to tell Bobcat fans now?
I think just showing up. And we need your help. I think the game day atmosphere was awesome last year, but I think we can continue to raise that standard, and no matter who we're playing, make sure you're there early, and because all that matters. The guys really feed off that energy, and like that Monroe game when we broke out the lights and all that, like that was awesome. We had recruits. Oh, we signed 2 Monroe kids, to Lake Lockett and Max Harris. And basically, that was one of the selling points. They really enjoyed the environment here. They're like, you and A&M were by far the 2 best environments that we played in last year. So all that matters. And you talking about recruits, we'll have big time recruits at all these home games. Every game we'll have over 100 recruits come to these games. So I think the type of atmosphere and the way we show ourselves, before the game, and the tailgate scene, and like being there early and yelling and being loud, like that's awesome. Like it really is. So I think we can continue to build off that.
Awesome.
Well, you got us in your corner, Coach. That's great.
I appreciate it. I like that hat too. That's a pretty sweet hat there. You got it.
Hey, yeah, there you
like
go.
that.
Support the brand.
I like it.
Coach,
all right, well, I appreciate you guys. Y'all really do, man. Y'all do a great job, and I love all the support y'all show us, and it's been a lot of fun. And year 1 was really good, and I think year 2 is going to be even better.
We just wow. We were ready to go on that one. You see that?
I'm tired, brother.
Ricky Ricotta and his magic fighting robot.
Well, dude, here's the thing. So GJ comes on talking about how he's like caffeinated up. I agree. I get it. I'm on my 3rd cup, 4th cup of I had 1 magic
cup of coffee today.
Really? No, I'm locked in.
One.
So my thing is like he comes in with energy, Charles Austin. We're gonna come back with the same energy. We're gonna match
Charles Austin
energy.
Immediately went into the juice though. Like he was like, "Here's what you want to know about Texas State."
Yeah, he's kind of slow-winded though, and GJ is not. It was very quick answers, which led to quick responses, which quick question, boom, 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 boom. That's what you're talking about.
Boom, boom. Yeah, no, that's why I literally had like 6 or 8 questions kind of jotted down before the interview, and then obviously I'm writing the entire time. GJ Kinne, what can I say, man? I'm glad that guy's on our side, because if we had to coach against that dude has a battery like no other.
I know, it's insane to talk about him and talk about like the new kid and just everything else that he's been like going through, and he's got how many plates spinning at the same time, and he's able to keep them all going. That's crazy. Yeah, it's wild. Like you think about how much energy
I had a recruiting thing for him too. I guess this will be on here. So if any school steals this you heard this shit on Squarin Around. We need a bumper sticker. It'll be Bobcats and Bentleys. Ooh. And then instead of, or maybe Bugatti,
Here you go. Hey,
gotta get that alliteration.
Because he's gonna watch the pod. He's gonna look at the clip. So
he's Squarin Around's #1 subscriber.
Yeah. Bobcats in Bentleys, I think fits because we have Bentley dealerships. I don't know about how many Bugatti dealerships we can lease a car with.
True.
So I'm here for it.
If you're playing NCAA, I brought it up like a madman because I'm trying to figure out how to win the game. I need to be like GJ. I play on Heisman. I'm a loser. All my friends tell me that too because I'm so good at the game. Not as good as some people. Jeez, you seen some of those guys? I've seen some of these guys who are using Texas State who are going viral online. And it's just like more of the same stuff. I was using Bo Sparks down the middle of the field in open space. He just gets out there. Ishmati, of course, Jordan McLeod might be one of the best quarterbacks in the game, period, to use.
So, and then, you talk about the NCAA stuff. I actually have had people reach out to me, Jacob, to do voiceover work for their highlights that they're looking for, like ESPN,
really,
Sports Center Top 10
that
highlight
is
packages.
So lame to me.
Hey man,
I'm down,
whatever pays
though.
the bills.
Yeah,
whatever pays the bills.
Yeah, if you see a freelancing gig like that, let me know.
Yeah, it's so lame. Who would want to do that? And it's like, well,
Hola, yo soy Jacob Rodriguez.
Could you imagine doing it in Spanish? That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Actually, I didn't think speaking Spanish was hard. So I signed up, not my senior year, I think this is junior year, at TIPA, Texas Intercollegiate Press Association Awards. And they have like a contest where you read like a teleprompter in Espanol. And boy, howdy.
Yeah, I bet.
I walked in.
Because you speak it, but do you read it?
There
you go. There's your answer.
Speaking
of, when's Star Camp and why wasn't I invited? Let's go.
You want to come? Pull up tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
It's Thursday. I got to cut this part out.
Kate reached out to me and was like, "Hey, what's up? Are you going in person? Are you going to Zoom in?" And I was like, I didn't get invited, so couldn't tell you.
You want me to send you the Zoom link? Bomb it?
Zoom bomb it?
Zoom bomb it?
What up, Krantz?
It's
who
me.
Saw me at TIPA, was like, yeah, you're one of us for sure. And then just doesn't talk to me. It's all good. Do I have a hit list? No. She made the list.
Dude, I went full Carmi this weekend at the San Antonio Association of Hispanic Journalists.
God.
And I saw Kim Fox. I saw a couple other professors.
Did you come up to him?
I was like, oh, yeah, of course I went up to him. I was like, what's up? I think about you every day.
But you and Kim are good. She didn't like me, but you guys were cooling.
Yeah, we were cool. I'm talking about the person who ran journalism, though.
Oh, yeah.
Ask him. I pulled up on her.
What does it matter? You won your little award.
And
does
then
it matter?
At KSAT, actually, everybody came up to me and was like, "Hey, Jacob, when you coming over here?" I was like, "Whoa, you guys are recruiting the transfer portal right now?"
I already signed a contract.
No, I just got it today, so I got to figure it out. Okay, back to GJ. Another crazy year in the portal for GJ. Sets up this amazing roster. Defensive head coach? Question mark?
No, stop it. I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you propagate that.
He is
bro.
sounding more and more like Jeff Traylor every day because I cut that guy's sound bites and I'm like, wow, Jeff Traylor, week 1, Kennesaw State. Same answer he gave us about Lamar, basically.
No, so here's the thing. So they all come from the same school of coaching, the Mac Brown School of Coaching, where you're a CEO, you put really good players in position, you put even better coaches in position, and then that breeds success. Jeff Traylor is a good coach. He's a great culture builder. He's a good judge of character. GJ Kinne is an incredible offensive coach. He is getting better at being a good CEO, building a great team around him. Talk about the roster management part of it, the evaluating talent part of it, which he's really good at. So but to say a defensive head coach, stop it. Stop it. He's a good defensive head coach. He's a better offensive head coach. He's an offensive head coach.
You talk about guys being nerfed in the game. Josh Eaton. I know he's fast. He kept up with everybody in the entire league. He's like a 70 speed or something. He can't catch up to dudes and they beat him on the outside.
We're gonna talk to Ish in 2 weeks, but I'm gonna soft launch this take here. Last year, before season 1 with GJ, conversation, we're trying to score 50 points per game. I think they finished with like 35. I think 37 is doable this year.
That's what they did last year.
Was it 37? I thought it was closer to 35. Are you sure?
37.
Is that counting the bowl game?
Here, hang on. Oh, yeah,
is that counting the bowl game?
Because it's the cumulative.
No, don't count the bowl game.
You have to. It's a game that counts in the stat world.
No, if you come up to me and say Texas State went 8-5 last year, no, they didn't. They went 7-5 with a bowl win. It's a big difference from 8 regular season wins and 8 wins with a bowl win.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you. I don't know about it.
I'm telling you.
I think they averaged like 35 points per game last year. I think they're closer to 37 this year. But I think they win more games. I'm going 11-1. So yeah, I think it's closer to 37 as to 30. I think they move 1 point up. But also, I would like to go through that real quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
42 points, 13 points, 77, 35.
Remember
50,
when you said you were going to do the
30,
math and then you refused
21,
to do the math
13.
on here?
I just did. It's 36 points per game.
Yeah?
What are you talking about?
36?
It's 36.
You deleted one game from the cumulative
Not
stats.
not counting the bowl game. It's 36 points per game.
I don't know.
45, 23, 31, 52. My point is, you check it. You want to write it down? Let's do it again. 42, 13, 77, 35, 50. I feel like I'm talking to the freaking help support for my credit card. Jeez.
It's worse.
30, 21, 13, 45,
These are just
23,
numbers. Nobody's
31,
doing this for you. Hang on.
Point is,
nobody's doing this.
I would like a more consistent scoring. I would like fewer 13s, fewer 77s, more 30s to 40s every single week instead of having it up and down. I like consistency in my scoring, not having one outlier of 77 and another outlier where you give up 77.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing about means and averages is, they're sensitive to highs and lows. So anytime you have like a crazy high or a crazy
low, what a take! That's a hot take from Jacob from Algebra 1.
It's
from
just
Algebra 1
basic
class.
Statistics. Hang on. Yeah, that Louisiana game is like haunting now. I wish he had answered that question straight on when I was like, does any game like kind of like stick out in your mind as like that was kind of on us, you know?
Yeah, it's absolutely
it's 35.16. I just did the math.
There you go. 35 points per game. Which means
yacht.
I was right from the
No,
start.
I was right.
What did I say?
You said
35 points per game? Did I say 30?
No, you said 36.
From the start, I said we averaged 35 points per.
37.
I said 30. Okay. Anyway, you have the tape. Clip it. That's fine. You have the tape. You can clip it.
But if you take away a game, of course it would go down. Like it wouldn't make sense that it would go up. It's going to go down always.
If they average fewer than 36 points,
no. If you take away an entire game,
it would go down.
Would be that's what I'm saying. That's what I just said just now. You're arguing right now that I'm right.
Why would it go up? Why would it go up?
That's what I'm saying. Why would it go up? It doesn't make sense mathematically.
Whatever. I just you're clearly not listening to what I have to say. When you go back and edit it, you'll listen. You'll be like, oh shit, he was right. That's fine.
No, I'm just gonna not use it if I'm wrong.
No, that's fine. I don't care if the listener knows if I'm right or not. That's fine. I'm not gonna listen back and be like, wow, he was right.
No, I never say that actually ever.
That's a lie.
Hashtag Zimmel was right.
Yeah.
Are you excited, buddy? Kickoff. 2 weeks. I'm in like a different zone right now. I'm like, I can see everything. I mentioned to GJ, we have a few like interviews stacked up even after him. And we're getting after it, man, here on Squarin Around. So I'm excited.
I'm excited to have Don.
11 followers away from 1,000 followers on X.
Next week, we have Don giving us the state of the program, which is going to be really good.
That'll be really
That's something that we do every year. It's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. I make it a priority to hit Don up every year. This year, I promise, at some point, we will talk to Coach Sean Hewitt for the volleyball team. It's like one of the biggest coaches we have not talked to yet on Squaring Around. It'll be a first for us.
I think we should get him when he's in Hawaii because I think that would be perfect for our schedule because it would be like 5 o'clock here.
That's the tourney or what? What do they do?
Yeah, it'd be 5 o'clock here. It'd be 1 o'clock there.
Ooh, that's fun.
Yeah, I think it's like a 6-hour difference.
I think I'm gonna start going to those Sunbelt like media availabilities too. They have like a call with all the coaches, so maybe I'll actually learn about the Sunbelt East for once this whole year instead of blindly picking Marshall in a pick'em league. And guess what, baby? I beat UTSA with Marshall. My horrible Marshall team beat UTSA, so we got them week 2.
We don't know about the Sunbelt East.
No, I said me. You're not listening to me. You don't listen to me. It's evident. And you don't read your texts because I have to ask you several times about whether or not we want to do a podcast with another group. And you're like, what time is it?
I didn't want to do a podcast with a different group. In fact, 9 times out of 10, if you ask us to podcast, my first response is no. And then I have to think, would this be good for the brand? And usually it is. So we do it. The last good one was the Tacos and Tuesdays guy. And we didn't get anything back from that. Did we get any followers from that?
No, I think we gave him followers.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's the thing too, is like, we're getting big and now like we're just like co-signing other people.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
We're going to do something with the Sunbelt Syndicate. That'll be fun.
If you are planning to do a podcast series on every Texas or every Sunbelt team, hit us up in May. Hit us up in June.
I think let's all start with one team. Can we all do that? You know, if we become like Joe Rogan or something, okay, I guess let's talk about every single college football team in the world. But if we're not, what are we doing here?
These
guys hit me up on the internet and they were like, hey, bro, last year we had a 3-hour college football show. You guys in this year? I was like, you guys in a fucking 3-hour show? No, I'm not doing that.
Oh, look at that. You give the thumbs up and it popped up on your screen. That's kind of cute. Here's the deal too, man. I don't care how big I get or we get or you get or I get or whatever. I will always do this Texas State podcast.
This is my team.
I like doing this podcast. I
can
do a national, college football show. I don't want to do that. I'd like to do the Texas State stuff.
It's actually something I was talking about to Kev, because he was like, a lot of people, like when they graduate, like you, the guys that kind of came before you, like they, wanted to go to New York, wanted to go to California, wanted to do something else. You're still here. And I was like,
man,
I feel like there's a better way to say that. But I understand what you're saying.
That's a real weird way to say that, brother.
Yeah.
No, you don't think, come on.
No. This is my Super Bowl. That's what that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. It's a big deal to us, and it should be.
Yeah, because we love Texas State. But I guarantee you, if you and I went to New York and we're covering the New York Giants and Jets, we'd still be like wanting to do the podcast. In fact, I would argue what we would do is have an internship program through Texas State where you and I are hosting the show and we have somebody who actually goes to school there coming on talking about the team. So there's a way to do this. Come on.
No. Yeah.
So
looking forward to it. Kickoff, less than 20 days away. Yeah. But I was trying to do the math on when everybody will listen to this. I guess it's like, 14, 15, something like that. Me and Zimmo have already bickered about math enough on this show, so I won't put you guys through that. Thanks for squaring around, everybody. Don next week. More coming after.
Ish coming after that.
Whoa. Pause. Yeah. I guess we just did the entire lineup right there.
No, we got more because we got players coming up too, potentially.
Ish, yeah. I'll be at practice actually this week, so I might sneak an interview or two.
All right. Sounds good.
Team break. Thanks for squaring, everybody.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
Better not come any closer.
Thanks for listening. New episodes out every Thursday. Follow the boys on Twitter. Eat 'em up. Eat 'em up.